Hey y'all, so one of the really cool things that's been happening in Metro Atlanta lately has been the emerging of a bunch of small indie bookstores. Back in the day when I first started, doing this thing, there were like basically three bookstores that I would work with. Basically, there's Maydu Bookstore in Greenbrier Mall, and there's Nubian Bookstore down in Morrow, Georgia. There's another bookstore, Shrine of the Black Madonna, and then there was also one more bookstore, Cherish Bookstore, that was used to be in downtown in the downtown Decatur area. And I would work with those bookstores. And there was a few other small bookstores around, but lately there's been a proliferation of indie bookstores. And one of those bookstores I had a chance to visit this weekend is called Books and Brew in Tucker, Georgia. It's owned by Cornell and Nate. Very cool couple. They've been in business for like 7 months. And like the name kind of describes what it is. They have books and they sell beer and they also sell food. They sell a really good stew, beef stew, chicken stew, and stuff like that. So really cool vibe. But I was there because two author friends of mine, Kyoko M and Greg Parris, were doing a book reveal. They were doing and they were talking about their books that they're in this weekend. And a couple of the books I happened to be able to join them as well. But the books they were talking about was the new Captain America, Shield of Sam Wilson book that just was released. Both Kyoko and Glenn Parris have stories in this book. And they also were talking about Black Panther Tales of Wakanda, which was released a few years ago, where Glenn, Kyoko, and yours truly have stories in this book. And of course, last but not least, Space Funk, which all three of us have stories in here. And of course, this is one that I published myself as editor. And it was a really great time. We had a really good turnout. Everybody was cool. You know, a bunch of Glenn's friends were there. A bunch of Kyoko's friends were there. There were a bunch of people from the that normally visit the bookstore that was there. And so I had the privilege to be able to interview them. And we talked about the books and we talked about their stories. And one of the cool things about the Black Panther Tales of Wakanda book is that three of us were in the book together. And we were the only indie authors who were in the book. And we were also, all of us also being from Metro Atlanta, made it really cool too. And the fact that we all knew each other. And that we have to owe that, we owe that to Glenn, because he happened to be at the meeting that Jesse Holland was given at Dragon Con when he announced that there was going to be a Black Panther Tales of Wakanda book. And he said, hey, I want to be in this book. And that struck up the relationship between him and Jesse. And he got in contact with me and Kyoko and said, hey, this book is going down. Y'all need to, be a part of it. So we submitted our stories and we got accepted. So it was really cool that we were able to get in the book together, and that Glenn and Kyoko went on to be in the Captain America book. And one of the cool thing about the Captain America book is not only is Kyoko in the book, her story is the first story in the book. It's the opening story. So that has to tell you that the publishers and the editors thought a lot about her story to make it the first story in the book. And they also not only made the first story in the book, when they ran their first advertisement for the book, they used a portion of her story as part of the advertisement. So that's really cool. Kyoko's a great author, and it's nice to see her getting the attention that's due. The other thing that we did that evening is that I'm working with Glenn on another one of his books. He had a book that he released a few years ago called The Renaissance of Aspirin, which is a medical thriller mystery novel that you need to read, but you're going to read it in a new form because he has decided to re-release his book. And he changed the name to The Painkillers because he felt like that name more reflected the premise of the story, and gave a better description of what the story was about. So that evening we had a book reveal, the book cover reveal, which this is it, The Painkillers, artwork done by Amber Denise. Y'all know Amber is one of my favorite artists. She did the cover for Black Rose. She did the cover for my recent short story, Second Kiss. It's love her artwork, and she does a great job with everything. So I was happy to get her to do the cover for this one. This book will be dropping probably in June. So y'all keep the lookout for that. But another thing about this whole meeting was that it was just a great vibe. I met so many people, met some new people, ran into some friends that I'd done some stuff previously with that happened to be there. We didn't know each other, we were going to be there. And the coolest thing was that we had a young brother there from a black-owned beer company who was talking about his beer, and he was showing us the different cans and stuff like that. His name is Shaquille. And it's funny because when he was showing me the artwork of it, he showed me, he's like, okay, we got this artwork here from Keith Cross. And that made me laugh because I've been knowing Keith for forever. And actually, matter of fact, we had just been at an event together probably about a week ago. And so when I saw the artwork, I was like, yeah, that's Keith, you know. So it kind of shows also what a small world we're in sometimes, and how different things cross. You know, we have an author who knows an artist who ends up working with a beer company, and we all meet at a bookstore. So it was really cool vibe all together. But overall, it was a great evening. Like I said, the people at Beer and Brew are really cool. If you live in the Tucker area, you need to go by and check them out. If you don't live in the Tucker area and you're looking for a new bookstore to take a look at or do a crawl through, make sure you go there and check them out. We had a conversation, so it's very possible that you'll be seeing some MV Media titles on their shelves in the near future. And so maybe at the same time, we may end up doing something else there as well. But yeah, great night. Beer and Brew. Check them out. And that's it. Y'all take care. Peace.